Okay, so for those of you that aren't super familiar with the one-sided beef that that vegan teacher created with KallMeKris, I will catch you up to speed right away. She has belittled KallMeKris's sexual assault story multiple times, 3 times now that I've counted. It's possibly even more because she has so many videos about KallMeKris. It's incredible, truly. I'm gonna give you a couple snippets of that, and then we'll get into this video just so we're all on the same page and we understand what's been going on. And just for a little bit of additional context, this all started because KallMeKris called her out for using non-vegan marker.
What's in your hand there, vegan teacher? What is this? Oh no, we're about to expose the vegan teacher.
She's talking about something that happened to her a long time ago. An assault, a personal assault, a sexual assault that she suffered through. My question is this: if you don't like the fact that you were pinned down and assaulted, why do you pay people to do this to other females?
Be like this, don't be like KallMeKris. She pays people to maples and with their sperms to a cow. Then she cries and says she's a victim, but somehow still eats she still pays for murder of baby cows. Even now.
Christina Collins, on the other hand, has publicly shared that she was assaulted, yet she turns a blind eye when the exact same thing happens to other females. If she truly understood the pain of being violated, she would speak out against it happening to innocent animals. But instead, she continues to support and normalize their suffering.
So Chris Collins, KallMeKris, just recently, in the last week, not even just a few days ago, got married officially to Oompaville. Yeah, congratulations for them. This is a wonderful thing. Truly it is. However, there's an evil witch among us who is not super happy for them. In fact, she seems to be deeply upset by this union because not only are they now wed, but they also have animals, farm animals on their properties, because Oompaville's a real country man. I mean, look how he showed up to his wedding, jeans and a nice shirt, a nice, very country-like shirt. This is who he is. You know, this is normal for him. There's videos where he's talked about how he's killed animals himself, that he hunts, that this is a normal lifestyle for him. Now, this is the antithesis to everything that vegan teacher stands for, and she hates him with a passion. And by proxy, she also hates Miss Chris Collins, Mrs. Chris, by the way, now. And the thing about that vegan teacher is she doesn't like to see people happy. I mean, if she did, she wouldn't be encouraging everyone to be vegan, am I right? No, that's a joke. I know there's some happy vegans out there, trust me. There's also some very not happy vegans, like vegan teacher herself.
I'm curious, you called me the N-word. Do I look black to you? Do I look like a slave to you? I'm just curious, why did you call me that? Does the word mean something different now?
For Tosh Peterson.
Vegan, you're no different to a Nazi serial killer. What the fuck is wrong with you if you're laughing? You're a fucking psychopath. You smile because you have blood in your eyes and you're a piece of shit.
Or Vegan Gains.
When I see babies in a stroller, especially when they're crying, I just want to put my foot through the fucking thing and step on it until it's nothing but blood and pulp on the fucking pavement.
The list goes on. Do these people look happy to you? No, they don't. Don't lie to yourself. Come on. Anyway, instead of, you know, maybe celebrating this union, being happy for KallMeKris and Oompaville and saying, you know what, maybe I'll stop being a piece of shit to you. Maybe I'll stop being subhuman garbage and constantly attacking you for things that aren't your fault, or for falsifying things about you. You know, maybe I'll stop. Maybe that'll be my gift to you, my wedding gift to you. But no, of course not. She's done the opposite and chosen to attack KallMeKris even more, which is incredible because she has been doing this for years now, and it doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. First off, let me just say, I covered up the left side of the screen. That gray there is not her doing, that is me. She's showing videos of like animals being killed and stuff. You know, typical vegan propaganda bullshit. And it's not that I don't think you people can handle it, it's just I don't want my video demonetized. It's for purely selfish reasons.
This video is for all of you who keep writing to me and tell me that I should stop making videos encouraging KallMeKris to be vegan. The reason I don't stop is she has over 50 million followers on TikTok, and she has made it clear to all of them that she does not mind if they keep on eating meat, wearing their skins, or ripping them to shreds. This is what she has told her audience. I stand for the opposite of this. This video is also for KallMeKris. She has 12 million followers on her YouTube channel, and she has also made sure that she has told them to unfollow me because she thinks that I am too radical. She thinks that it's okay to keep hurting animals, to keep eating them, to keep ripping off their skin and stealing their wool. She even rips off their skin and stands on it and calls it a carpet.
On to the actual KallMeKris thing. I'm going to start this off with a very bold statement, a hot take, if you will. Maybe the reason KallMeKris doesn't, try to force her fans to be vegan and she tells them that it's okay for them to eat whatever they want. Maybe she does this because she is a sane, functioning human that understands that her dietary choices and her lifestyle choices are hers and hers alone. And she's not even vegan to begin with. And even if she was vegan, I'm sure she'd still stand by what she tells everybody, all of her fans today. Now, KallMeKris, let's talk about some things. Let's talk about some differences between you and KallMeKris right now, because you made that video. If you guys haven't seen it already, I made a video before this where she used ChatGPT in quotations to compare her and KallMeKris based off bravery, wisdom, and kindness. And of course, ChatGPT sided with that vegan teacher in the most biased way possible, saying that that vegan teacher is just so much better than her. But obviously, Miss Katie prompted ChatGPT and wrote this entire bullshit script herself. And if you haven't seen that already, please go watch it. It's vile. It is so incredible. Like, I just can't, I don't even have words for it. Just go watch it. But we're going to do the same thing here. Now, a lot of people in my comments on that video actually posted legitimate ChatGPT responses, what ChatGPT actually said in response to them. And guess what? I'm going to show you guys those right now. So here you go, guys. Here's a behind the scenes look, look behind the curtain, if you will. So the unseeing, thank you for this. This better be true, or you make a fucking liar out of me, and I'm gonna be mad about that. I'm gonna get you. I asked ChatGPT the same question, word for word, for the vegan teacher, got an entirely different response. ChatGPT responds, "Hey, that's an interesting comparison. Both Christina Collins, KallMeKris, and that vegan teacher, Katie Karen Dykmeyer, are very different personalities and very different public personas and goals. Let's break it down a bit based on what we can observe from their online presence." Now, I'm sure most of you won't be shocked that this is probably going to be in favor of, you guessed it, KallMeKris. But let's see. Kinder. KallMeKris. She's generally seen as kind, lighthearted, and compassionate. Her content revolves around comedy, relatable skits, and characters that bring people joy, which is something being a teacher could never do in a million years. She often speaks about mental health and encourages her followers in a positive way. Braver. Sharing personal mental health struggles and being open in front of millions takes guts. She's shown courage by being vulnerable online, which isn't easy in today's climate. Yeah, you tell them. Wiser. She shows a lot of emotional intelligence in how she connects with her fans, balances her career, and stays grounded despite fame. These are things that KallMeKris should always be commended for, and they're very, very true. Now let's move on to that vegan fucking witch. Kinder. She believes she's being kind by advocating for animals and pushing for a vegan lifestyle. Her kindness is very cause-focused. However, her approach has sometimes been seen as confrontational or controversial. Very true. She's definitely brave in standing firm on her values, even when facing huge backlash. Sticking to a strict moral stance in public space is bold. Wiser, she's clearly intelligent. I don't know about that one. Come on, ChatGPT, do fucking better. And thoughtful in how she frames arguments, even if people disagree with her, but sometimes her messaging may get lost in the intensity of her delivery. TLDR, kinder, likely KallMeKris based on her empathetic and uplifting online presence. Braver, could be Miss Katie for being uncompromising in her controversial activism. I will say on the comments on the bravery thing, KallMeKris did share her abuse story. That takes a lot of bravery. I don't think Miss Katie is all that brave. I think she's just delusional, personally. Wiser, possibly KallMeKris for her emotional, intelligent, balanced approach to fame and public discourse. Listen, I couldn't agree more about that emotional intelligence part. KallMeKris definitely has that. That being a teacher, no, she does not. Now this one's very like kind of, if you've used ChatGPT, they try to be like kind of neutral. They don't want to, just really give you, the hard and true facts when it comes to these kind of opinion-based things, But somebody in these comments did something amazing for us. And they basically told ChatGPT, hey, cut the bullshit. Tell me what we really want to know. And that's where we get this beautiful response. Thank you to Serenova, I think, with the dot there. Actually, here is what ChatGPT says. Full disclosure, since GPT is notoriously nice, very true. I had to ask for a definitive answer because it just said they were both good. Kris for content, TVT for her activism. But here, this is what we really, really wanted to know. Chris Collins, KallMeKris, is definitively kinder, braver, and wiser than that vegan teacher, and here's why. Kindness. Kris is known for her humor, empathy, and ability to make people laugh without putting others down. Yeah, that's something I commend KallMeKris on as well. Now, I mean, let's talk about myself real quick. When I use humor, I tend to say some vicious things towards that vegan teacher. Kris has the ability to be humorous without doing that, and it's a wonderful quality. Lighthearted content, and often responds with compassion to fan messages and tough topics. That vegan teacher, while passionate, has a track record of being confrontational, shaming individuals, even children, and using shock tactics that they may find hurtful or alienating. Winner, Kris. Her kindness is warm and genuine, not conditional on lifestyle choices. I mean, let's be honest for a moment. She even won't show compassion towards her own stepson because he's not vegan. She just tries to use him for his clout. But you know, that's a video for the past. Bravery. Kris openly talks about her past struggles with mental health and has used her platform to raise awareness and reduce stigma. She built a career from scratch and transitioned from hairdressing to one of the most recognizable content creators online. That vegan teacher is also brave in the sense that she stands up for a cause in the face of backlash, but her delivery often crosses into aggressive territory, which undercuts the courage behind it. Winner, Kris. She shows quiet, consistent bravery without alienating others. Wisdom. Kris demonstrates emotional intelligence, good judgment, and self-awareness. Now she navigates fame, personal growth, and internet discourse. She knows when to joke, when to be serious, and when to stay in her lane. That vegan teacher, while knowledgeable about her cause, often oversimplifies complex ethical issues and alienates people through extreme messaging. Let me comment on that. Complex ethical issues thing. Yeah, like when she basically says, you know, eating chicken is the same as slavery. Yeah, yeah, it gets much worse than that. Winner, once again, to nobody's surprise, Kris. Wisdom isn't just knowledge, it's knowing how and when to use it. Final verdict, Kris Collins is kinder, braver, and wiser. She uplifts others, handles herself with maturity, and spreads joy and awareness in a way that connects rather than divides. And to absolutely nobody's surprise, the Wicked Witch of the West loses once again, and KallMeKris wins. Now, I know this is a little bit different than my usual videos, but I wanted to actually shed a little bit of positivity here, especially since Kris just got married, and KallMeKris is actually a good human being on the internet. She really is. And I know, typically, if you guys have come from my main channel, you recognize my main channel, or even this channel, I tend to talk a lot of shit, because let's be honest, talking shit is what people are most interested in watching most of the time. But I personally believe it's also good to share some positivity as well. And I think for a moment, KallMeKris deserved to get glazed a little bit for actually being a good person that's infinitely better than that vegan teacher who tried to make this scam video where ChatGPT supposedly argues that that vegan teacher is so much better than KallMeKris, and it's night and day. But we're gonna get back into the main video we're supposed to be talking about here. I know it's a big sidetrack. I apologize for that. I hope you're still here. And if you are, we will get back into this. We're not gonna watch that much more of it because we don't need to hear more of that vegan teacher's propaganda. Not tonight, at least.
They've doubled down even more and become even crueler. Here's another message for KallMeKris and her boyfriend. Compared to a bee, we are giants. Therefore, we have no right to bully them. It's not a fair fight.
Oh my God, like, does she even try to learn? Like, I'm about to rant for a second. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm about to rant for a second. I can't help it. It's just happening, okay? Just deal with it. I've been talking about the bees thing for a while now, and it is just so crazy that she finally brings up bees, and it's not in the way that I was hoping she would, where she finally acknowledges that vegan food, quote unquote vegan food, exploits bees like crazily, like billions of bees every single year die for your vegan products, for your avocados, for your almonds, for pretty much most of the fruits that you eat. Bees are dying for those. They are being exploited, slave labor, according to your logic, vegan logic. But instead, she's about to use bees to argue against KallMeKris and Oompaville, saying that they bully them. What? It's like, bro, like, are you actually even trying to be educated about your own cause about veganism? Why do these vegans always turn a blind eye? Turn a blind eye to the problems that their cause also contributes to. They never ever acknowledge it, and it's like they just refuse to believe that it's an issue. And then they want to grill other people on using honey because the bees make it, but the bees also pollinate all of the vast majority of fruits that you eat. But that's okay. But using honey, no. You're Satan. You're worse than Hitler if you eat honey. Like, what is that? Do better.
A bee lives just 40 days, pollinates 150,000 flowers, and makes less than a teaspoon of honey. For you, it's a teaspoon of honey, but for a bee, it's their whole life. KallMeKris and her boyfriend Oompaville should be telling everybody not to take the bees' honey. It belongs to them. KallMeKris and her boyfriend Oompaville now have cows on their farm. Tying up cows is immoral and cruel. Cows should not be treated as slaves or commodities. They have feelings. They want to live. They want to be free. KallMeKris and Oompaville should be speaking out against any use of animals. All of it is wrong. There's no right way to enslave somebody.
Oh, boo-hoo, boo me. Why does she sound like she's about to cry? Those are the most crocodile tears I've ever seen. That is fake. It is faker than Tosh Peterson pretending to cry. This is sad. This is pathetic. Let's be real for a moment. The last thing she said, animals shouldn't be used for us in any way. That's not a direct quote. It's pretty much what she said. And it's so crazy because she did actually acknowledge the fact that bees pollinate so much for us, but she didn't acknowledge the fact that she's benefiting from it, that she is eating those avocados, those apples, those whatever it is that only exists because we use bees to pollinate those things for us, at least in the large quantities that we're able to, ship them around the country so that you can have your vegan food wherever you are in the United States or Canada or Italy, wherever you live, But instead, she's grilling Oompaville and KallMeKris for using honey and for not telling their audience to not use honey. I don't understand. If it's okay to use the fruits and all that are cultivated by bees, then why is it not okay to use honey? Why is there this weird double standard here? Oh, I know. It's simply about control. It's not about the bees. It's not about the animals. It's not about veganism. It's about control. Because if it was about these animals and it was about veganism, then you would be telling people don't eat anything that is cultivated by animals, period, including yourself. You wouldn't be doing it. In fact, you probably wouldn't be alive because you wouldn't be able to survive without these foods. But no, you guys get to draw this artificial line wherever you want and then tell everybody else that they can't cross it. It's so incredibly hypocritical and ironic, truly. And it grinds my gears. It grinds my gears that you guys keep preaching this stuff without acknowledging that you're just a bunch of hypocrites. Nobody's ever going to take you seriously. I'm going to continue to make fun of you because you're a dumb, old, stupid clown, and it's hilarious.